It's the right way around this week, if you notice that. Top 40 Timeline video show with Big Daddy and
Leah Lywood.
And
Lee Lakin and Mandy.
Mandy's in there, and she'll dropping by later. We're gonna get a part of the show for her. Got to get stuff because she's a music fan too, Mandy. Right?
Absolutely.
Welcome to the show, and what we're going to start doing is the top 40 timeline's heard on radio stations around the world. We're going to feature different radio stations every week,
right.
And this week it's our friends at Epic Radio and Wow Media Group.
Yep.
They're combining forces and have done for about a year now to bring you a new and exciting listening platform. Imagine Spotify or Deezer, but take it to the next level. Not just make your own playlists, but listen to thousands of hours on demand shows for all genres. Catch up from Epic Radio presenters, podcasts, live and recorded concerts, interviews from artists, and so much more. And Wow will be a subscription service, and you can register now and get a free month when it launches very shortly, which is coming up. So hello to everybody over at Epic Radio.
Hi, Epic.
And I've got my yellow binder there, but what did you do with my yellow binder?
Excuse me.
That's all right. She took my yellow binder away. You guys know that I am antique. No, but I have to write notes down, and I have to say hello to a few people over at Epic Radio.
Yes,
see. Hi to Matt McGill, who's like you, a guy voicing the socks.
Right.
Gary Stevens, who runs everything. Emperor Roscoe. Hello to Emperor Roscoe, who is a legend in British radio. James Denmead, hello. John the Rock Doctor, who's our guy on our stations with the Blues Show. And hello to Kenny Tosh and Ken Michaels, who does the Beatles show, epic-radio.com. And they are in the UK. Our show is heard, the Top 40 Timeline radio show is heard 9 a.m. UK time every Monday morning. Every week.
It's about 6 hours difference. So.
Yeah, and so it's like 4 in the morning here, but it's aimed at the UK audience, even though those guys are in British Columbia that run the station, but they're very big in the UK.
Awesome.
So, welcome to the show. Now I'm going to do the meme from hell, as I clear my throat, and you've got the story, of course, and so I'll do the meme from hell first. And this is from a listener down in Alabama who sent us the meme on Facebook. And it says, how to install a Southern home security system.
Great idea.
Go to Goodwill and buy a pair of size 14 to 16 men's work boots. Number 2, place them on your front porch, along with a couple of guns and ammo magazines, of course, and put 4 giant dog dishes next to the boots and the magazines. Number 4, leave a note on your door that reads, Bubba, me and Marcel, Donnie Ray, and Jimmy Earl went out to buy more ammo and beer. Be back in an hour.
There's a great combination.
Don't mess with the pit bulls. They got the mailman this morning and messed them up bad. I don't think Killer took part, but it was hard to tell from all the blood. Anyway, I locked all 4 of them in the house. Better stay outside. Be right back. Cooter. And that's the new. That's actually the new Southern home security system, and our friend actually owns the company, and they actually make money from going around Southern Alabama, putting that on front people's porches. So there you go, right there.
All right, jumping into our very interesting story, and Russ and I were talking a little bit about it off air. This is the world's oldest dog. A Portugal canine named Bobby is celebrating his milestone of his 31st birthday on Thursday. 31 years.
Why couldn't my dog live that long?
31 years.
31.
I've
never heard anything like that.
It's a true story. It's a Guinness World Record.
I guess.
Bobby was born on May 11th, 1992, and was named the world's oldest living and oldest dog ever by Guinness Book World Records earlier this year. He's lived in the village of Conquistros with his owner, Lionel Costa, 38, for his entire life.
Wow.
That is amazing. This is insane. Costa had said he had several long-lived dogs in the past, including Bobby's mother, Gira, I would say, who lived to the age of 18, which is still, like, really impressive. If Bobby spoke only, he could explain this. Costa told the Guinness Book of World Records, we see situations like this as normal result of the life that they have, but Bobby has one of a kind. Costa, who was 8 years old when Bobby was born, says he sees the dog as a link to previous generations of his own family, which makes a lot of real sense, really. Bobby is special because looking at him is like remembering the people who were part of our family and unfortunately are no longer with us, like my father, my brother, or my grandparents who have already left this world, he said. Bobby represents those generations.
Right on.
This is crazy. 31 years old for
I've
a dog.
never heard of a dog being anything over 21.
I thought
Yeah,
my
like-
bulldog at 17, because they don't live that
Yeah,
near that long, so
that's
that
right.
was really good. But I was thinking 17. This is.
I wonder
this
what
is
the
awesome.
secret is to that. Maybe
31.
it's
Well, I
something
think it's the lifestyle. Like where he
Holy
lives
Moses.
is
very
probably,
laid back.
It's probably, very laid back village that they live in, and
Not
and
full
again-
of pesticides
well,
and
that
other
too.
chemicals.
And, they eat what grows in the ground. They still live the
Very
way that
much.
we should be living our asses right now, instead of that, fast food restaurants and stuff like that. They still live a very simple life. I bet you any money, and that's a big part of it, I think.
It is. It is. All right, you can lead off with Leah's trivia. You're the one that puts all this stuff together, baby.
Alrighty, so I'll do the first couple. We've got a little bit of a tidbit here from July 1954. DJ Dewey Phillips became the first person to play an Elvis Presley record on the radio when he was given a copy of That's All Right, Mama. That was a good
That's
song.
all right, Mama. That's all right.
Not quite knowing who the record was by, he called him Elton Preston.
Oh, jeez, that's funny. That's
And
funny.
actually, and they actually did see each other in person many times and worked together after
Right.
that down the road. But initially, obviously, he did not know him.
Well, again, yeah, 54 is when Elvis really kind of.
That's it.
Right.
Jennifer Lopez was quoted, "It was a bit rough to say the least, but the Bronx is everything I am."
Yeah, she's a New York gal.
Oh,
no
God,
doubt
yeah.
I
about
love
it.
Lopez.
Yeah.
I think she's amazing.
I love New York people. They're so interesting,
Hey, you.
aren't they?
Get
So
the fuck
interesting.
over here, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
How you doing?
How you doing? I was just going to say that. How you
you
doing?
doing?
Hey, you want a coffee? We'll go get a coffee.
The corner store.
That's right. 1967 this week at a concert at Queen Elizabeth Hall in London, Pink Floyd introduced an early version of quadraphonic sound using a device to pan sound around the venue. And there were also bubble machines which get them banned from the hall for damaging the carpets.
They must have been freaking out. People out there on acid watching Pink Floyd, and all these bubbles start coming out of nowhere.
and at that
and
point
then the
in time-
sounds start going like. You got people tripping out.
And back then, they wouldn't have had a lot of money yet. That was
No,
only 67.
exactly.
They were starting out, so it's not like they could go, okay, someone get it out of the coffers and we'll just pay them.
1972, the Rolling Stones released Exile on Main Street, a landmark double album recorded primarily at a villa in France where the group is living to avoid British taxes. They are tax exiles, thus the album name, Exile on Main Street. I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Take the next one, Big Daddy.
All right, I'll do the next couple here. Lionel Richie's Hello, a song inspired by his younger years when he was too shy to talk to the ladies, goes to #1 in America, and now he gets invited to the King's coronation, all kinds of wonderful things. In 2007, Brian May of Queen goes under police protection after a schizophrenic leaves a letter at his home blaming him for his mental illness and threatening to kill him. Well, the news is published in the Sunday Mirror, the following day against May's wishes. But that's one of
I don't
those
know if
things that rock
No,
stars
he's
go
a good
through.
guy. He needed to
I
be like
wouldn't
that.
want that stuff out floating around. Talk about dirty laundry like Don Henley says.
Well, it's a mental illness.
Yeah. All right. This is a bit of a long one, but it's a Canadian story, so we love it. And in 2013, after Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield records the David Bowie song Space Oddity aboard the International Space Station, his sublime rendition is posted on YouTube, quickly garnering millions of views. Along with, science stuff, and there's a guitar on board the International Space Station. And when Chris Hadfield takes his post as commander, he puts it to use. A song that every astronaut knows quite well, and I think pretty much every human being knows, which tells the story of Major Tom, an astronaut who travels into space and becomes adulted by folks back on Earth. Entranced by the tranquil expanse, he cuts himself loose and drifts away. When the video is posted on YouTube, Bowie posts on his Facebook page, it's probably the most poignant version of the song ever created.
Imagine him seeing that.
You imagine?
And it really is. He's really out there doing it.
Yeah.
That must have blown David Bowie's mind.
He must have just been blown. And Chris Hadfield getting it back, too.
Yeah,
The fact that they...
Well, he did.
Yeah, the video comes down when the agreement expires after a year, but goes back up 6 months later when a new deal is struck. And the song was mixed down a year, and a deal was made with Bowie and the company to use on. After Bowie died in 2016, Hatfield writes, his art defined an image of outer space, inner self, and rapidly changing world for generation finding themselves at the confluence. Being able to record Oddity on the International Space Station was an attempt to bring the art full circle. It was meant as a way to allow people to experience it without being stated, and that our culture had reached beyond the planet. We live in space, and I thank him for allowing us the opportunity and being so kind since.
That's a cool story.
That is an excellent story. I love that one. When I saw that come up, I was like, okay, I'm reading that one. Yeah.
You got it.
No, yeah, I mean, even earlier on Facebook when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
A wee tidbit here, Kate Bush. I'm sure women are much stronger than men, and it's incredibly hard on them that they have and they should not be able to show their emotions when actually it's okay to be weak. And that's true.
Very true.
Very true.
100%.
You know what I mean? I hope I don't cry with the Leafs tonight, please.
Please.
But I've got my nummy nump, my little pacifier, my little blue and white nummy nump there. And I'm sitting
Can
there
I get
yelling,
a picture when you're done?
Yes. Yelling at the TV.
I'm going to post that one.
Oh, God, yeah.
All right. Ali Campbell of UB40, his first concert was the Jackson 5 at in 1974 at the Odeon in Birmingham, England, where they talk really fast like that. That Air Carroll, they talk like that. And then Liverpool, they're slow as right down.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, which is only 40 miles away.
That's right.
All right, 1964, go ahead.
So in 1964, in an early sign of their tendency to disrupt authority, the Rolling Stones are refused service for lunch at Bristol, England's Grand Hotel because they're not properly dressed in jackets and ties. The next day, the Daily Express calls them the ugliest group in Britain and remarks, "The Rolling Stones gather no lunch."
And they are not a beautiful-looking bunch of guys, so that part's true. But
well, we're not chicks. We can't.
You know what? Keith Richards wasn't bad when he was younger.
He's
he aged
gonna live
and
another
he's
100
a little
years.
rougher.
Well, these guys are in their 80s. They're not going to look like. I mean, you know what I mean?
He's a vampire in real life. You didn't know that, did you?
No,
That's it. That's
right.
it. There it is.
1972.
Yeah, in 1972, in an effort to shed his teeny bopper image, David Cassidy appears shirtless and pantless
Oh my God!
on the cover of the Rolling Stone. The Partridge Family starred 22 at the time as both TV sensation and hit recording artist. Most of his fans, though, are teenage girls who make up most of his enormous fan club and account for the bulk of his record sales. He hopes to change that by granting the magazine an in-depth interview with revealing cover shots by Annie Leibovitz. The story is headlined "Naked Lunchbox." Okay. Reference to how many kids have his likeness on their school lunchboxes. He comes off as a free spirit, admits to taking drugs. It's literally a revealing look at Cassidy, who provides Rolling Stone with one of the most memorable cover stories ever.
I was one of those teenage girls. I have to
Absolutely.
admit.
Well, him and his
I have to
what was
admit,
his brother?
Partridge Family.
What was his brother?
Sean
Cassidy.
Sean Cassidy.
I was a real kind of thing for him too. But I was quite a bit younger.
Pretty boy.
I'm mistaken for him at the mall all the time.
Me too.
And really an incredible
I had that
performer.
hairstyle.
Yeah.
Had
He
that
was
long,
really
you know.
big in England. He had a lot of hits in England.
Oh, God, yeah.
He had a few in North America, but it wasn't in England. He was, apart from the Partridge Family as well.
Yeah.
And that was a hit all over the world. But what a great show that was.
Oh, God, yeah.
When was the last time you sat down and watched one of these old
One
shows?
of the last ones I watched was the Carol Burnett show, and that was just about a week ago.
All in the Family, which is still, bar none, my favorite.
On the Buses. Got to be one of my favorite
Yeah, that's pretty
shows.
good too.
Faulty Towers a little bit. I watched that from time to time.
All right, so it's me now, right?
72.
Here we go.
You got it.
1972. I'll do the next
again.
few here. In 1972, John Lennon goes on the Dick Cavett Show and mentions that the FBI is monitoring him, and he turns out to be right. He was right the whole time. My God.
Oh,
That was a good interview.
That interview is quite interesting.
It was very good.
Because Dick also asks him as well about the God comment, or the Jesus, we're bigger than Jesus comment as well. Too,
Yeah, he made that.
He was on
years
several
before that.
interviews with
like
Cavett.
that. Yeah.
There was a few of them, but yeah.
1981, sadly, Bob Marley dies at the age of 36 after a long battle with cancer. Marley
Sad.
became the first international reggae superstar after blending elements of rock and rhythm and blues into his sound, making it appealing to a wider audience. And during his ascent, Marley was injured in a soccer game when another player and his cleat punctured the big toe of his right foot. Oh my God. It got infected, and in 1977, doctors told him that he needed to have it amputated. And Marley ignored the advice on the basis of his Rastafarian religion, figuring his faith will heal him, and he continued to deny treatment even as a melanoma developed in the toe and spread through his body, eventually killing him. And not many people know that he had to go through that before he died. And
Oh,
he did.
that's a painful way to go.
Oh, it is.
What a painful
Can't
way
imagine.
to go. No, I
Melanoma apparently is one of the worst cancers.
I
that you can
suffer
have.
from a lot of pain daily, and I have for years, and my body
That's
and
a
brain are
nice
used
one.
to it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine, because that's just another level. That's a whole other level.
You know what he said that really made me think? I'm going to take a few seconds here. Bob Marley said, somebody asked him, are you happy with all your money? And he said, doesn't
Money's
make
nothing.
a damn bit of difference.
He's a Rastafarian man.
You have to be happy up here, folks.
No, it's the
Exactly.
Same.
And it
They
doesn't
asked him,
matter what you have.
What's a beautiful woman?
That's right.
And he just looked at him and went,
Every one of them.
everyone.
That's right. And that's the way to look at the world.
And happy
Okay.
Mother's Day to all you mothers out there.
That's
by the
right.
way.
That's right. And to Nottingham Forest, good luck against Chelsea. My God. Come on, you Reds. Hello to all of the folks at the Facebook group. Because I'm going to
Yes.
put a link up here. And
Good
for
luck.
that. They're my team. And, we're, in the Premier League in England, it's not like the NHL and the NFL.
No.
Your team is down. 3 get lost every year.
Yeah.
And 3 come up, Anyway, a wee tidbit here. Led Zeppelin's John...
No.
Oh, no, I'm still doing the Napster one, aren't I? I'm sorry. 2000,
She wanted to
Napster.
let that go.
Yeah, what would I do without you guys here? You know what I mean? Honest to God.
Anything Zeppelin, that's mine.
2000 Napster, which lets users download songs posted by other users for free, wins the Webby Award for Best Music Site, beating OuchLaunch.com, Wired Planet, Sputnik 7, and Farm Club.
Yeah.
And remember all those names from the past?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
And they
to
were so
download.
big back then.
Oh,
eh?
yeah.
Yeah.
When we
Well,
first got
that's,
that technology, it was like, wow, this
It was
is cool.
Metallica that sued them, because they were one of the first albums that they allowed people to download for free,
Yep.
and Metallica went
And
after
it used to
them.
take 2.5 days to download a 2-minute Herman's Hermit song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there'd be people in line
Yeah.
waiting to do it. Oh, we've come a long way.
God, yeah.
So
What's
here's
going
here's
on?
a couple of little tidbits. Led Zeppelin's John Paul Jones was responsible for the string arrangements on the Rolling Stones songs She's a Rainbow and 2,000 Light Years from Home
Yeah.
from their 1967 album, Their Satanic Majesty's Request. And another is Mick Jagger was also quoted, "Rock and roll's not over. I don't see one thing end until I see another beginning. Like when you break up with a woman. You know what I mean?"
1967. The Turtles and the Temptations gave a special performance at the White House as a guest of Tricia Nixon. Stories circulate concerning members of the Turtles allegedly snorting cocaine on Abraham Lincoln's desk, and things don't go so well for the Turtles' Mark Volman, who falls off the stage not once, but 5 times.
My God.
And there was a comment made when I posted this, I believe it is Brian Dean, had posted that if you look at the picture on the far left, I put a picture up, 2 pictures of the 2 different bands
Yeah.
with Tricia Nixon, and it is actually Shirley MacLaine with her daughter as a baby on
Oh,
the far
wow.
side.
Okay, yeah.
So if you look at it, you can take a look at it. But
That's-
yeah, Brian pointed that out, and I didn't know that. That was cool.
I'll do one more here. 1974, Led Zeppelin launched their record label Swan Song with lavish parties in London and Los Angeles. Bad Company and Dave Edmunds both record for the label, which shut down eventually in 1983.
In 1975, Stevie Wonder headlines the 4th annual Human Kindness Day Festival in Washington, D.C.
Until it's not
Belying the name of the festival, many in the estimated crowd of 125,000 turned violent, and hundreds of robberies and assaults are
Human
reported.
Kindness Day.
And, pardon me, in 1994, serial killer John Wayne Gacy, the subject of songs by Sufjan Stevens and Jane's Addiction, is executed for the murders of 33 young men and boys. And that's a part of our history we'd rather not remember.
Yeah.
What's going on with Procol Harum?
Here's a little tidbit. Procol Harum's A Whiter Shade of Pale has been recorded by over 900 other artists.
Wow.
Co-writer Keith Reid came up with the title after overhearing someone at a party saying to a woman, "You've turned a whiter shade of pale."
Wow, didn't know that.
Which usually means now she needs a pail.
Or a toilet.
Or a toilet,
Whichever
yeah.
comes first.
Well, no, have you ever seen, there's a meme out there, guy's carrying his girlfriend, wife, whatever, on his shoulder, and he's managed to hook the pail around her head so that when she's hanging over his
No,
back,
I haven't seen that.
she could just chuck into the pail, right? Here we go. 2005, Robin Gibb of the Bee Gees was quoted, "I've been vegetarian for 25 years. I don't drink, smoke, or eat meat. I look great, but I feel terrible."
Well, at least he's not lying about it.
No, true. 1936, the front page of the story, Melody Maker, BBC appoints the anti-song plugging official. So, whatever that means.
I have no idea. 1959, music paper Melody Maker introduced a jukebox top 20 chart compiled from 200 jukeboxes around the UK.
I have to interject for a second. Anti-song plugging was about, they used to plug different songs on
Oh,
behalf
okay.
of artists and whatnot. They actually were, BBC, as usual, had a kind of an anti-song
Hey,
plugging.
you think
Yeah, you're right,
RTC's
yeah.
bad? Try the BBC.
Hey, try radio. That's why Radio Luxembourg was so successful in the UK, because the BBC they had a monopoly. That's why the Pirates started.
Yeah.
And because of the Pirates, you got the Beatles. So there you go. That's how the world turns, man. That's how things happen. Is it me now?
1966.
1966. The Doors played at the Whiskey A Go-Go, West Hollywood, California, auditioning for the position of the venue's house band. And this week in 1970, the Guess Who started a 3-week run at #1 on the U.S. singles chart with American Woman, with my buddy Burton Cummings singing lead vocals. Thank you.
The song they wrote on stage.
That's right.
And they did.
It was the group's
That's what this is talking
sixth top 30 hit and only chart topper. The song was born by accident when guitarist Randy Bachman was playing a heavy riff on stage after he had broken a string, and the other members joined in on the jam, and a fan in the audience who had recorded the gig on tape presented it to the group after the show, and they developed it into a full swing and a full song, and that's how that
American
song was
Woman.
created. American
Actually,
Woman.
there's a little bit more to that story that I've seen both from Randy Bachman and Burton. And Burton was actually late.
Huh?
And Randy was up doing the riff, broke
Waiting.
a string, so he just kept going, waiting for the guy, because they always have a guitar tech that brings out,
Sure.
a new guitar. And the guy brings out the guitar tech. Well, just at that point, so does Burton comes walking out. The band's already engrossed in it, like we jam here in my garage, and he just blurted it out. It just, yeah. And he was late because of a woman.
Cool.
So, yeah.
And there was a
Cool
lot of
story.
controversy, which we won't get into, but there was a lot of controversy
Yeah.
over American Woman because they thought they were slighting American women. But
Exactly.
anyways,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
that was a whole other story.
There's,
so
there's a whole other one there.
That's
We'll
another.
do that next week.
That's another one. So, 1980, "I Don't Like Mondays" by the Boomtown Rats won the Best Pop Song and Outstanding British Lyric categories at the 25th Ivor Novello Awards. And Supertrance, the Logical Song, won Best Song Musically and Lyrically. Boomtown Rats lead singer Bob Geldof
Lead
was
singer.
inspired. What did I say?
You said lead singer.
Oh, lead. Okay.
You got
try this
Zeppelin
again.
on your
I'm
brain,
having-
girl.
I think so. I always do. Boomtown Rats. Try this. I'll start again. Boomtown Rats lead singer Bob Geldof See, there we go again. Geldof was inspired to write the song after reading about the tragic shooting spree when 16-year-old Brenda Spencer killed 2 people and wounded 9 others when she fired from her house across the street onto the entrance of San Diego's Grover Cleveland Elementary School. A very sad day.
Wow.
2013, the RIAA starts counting, streaming toward its gold and platinum awards, with 1,500 album streams equal to 1 album sale a unit, and 150 song streams counting for 1 song sale.
Yeah, that's bullshit. You know, it's ridiculous how they pulled all that crap off, because it just means that they don't have to pay them the more money, and they're the ones profiting from it once again. And it's another way for the record labels to screw over musicians. Like, the other thing too, you hear, like I've over the years, being a musician, I've played in a lot of bands, I've worked with a lot of bands, and I've had good friends of mine get signed by record albums. But now they own you, and they can shelve you. Yeah. They can make it so you cannot write any more music, you cannot produce any more music, you cannot record any more music, you cannot sell any of your music to somebody else to profit from it without them being involved.
So be careful, folks.
So, you know, back in the 60s when bands like CCR, the Guess Who, bands like that were getting screwed over by the record companies, they're still getting screwed over by these record companies. You know what? Today you can do the technology yourself, guys. Record it yourself and put it out there yourself. Well, it will work.
Look at Zeppelin, look at Beatles, and so on and so on and so on. They all started their own record labels for that reason.
There's a reason why they did it.
Exactly. Half the people that we present, we have another show called
Swan
The Big
Song,
20.
You name it. Apple Records, all of them.
The Big 20, our other show that we have, we play all the new music, and 3/4 of them are from the internet.
Yeah.
They're not from record companies.
Nope.
So that's the way musicians should be doing it now.
Absolutely. And it's, you know, there's a ton of so awesome freaking music out there, and everybody's listening to the radio or the television or the media group saying, oh, this or this or this or this. No, there's more stuff out there, like you said. You can research
well, I
it
research
on
it every week. I know the new music.
You know, and there's a dynamite following of what I like to call actual independent music, and not indie music, because indie music's different. So
1963.
I think it's me.
Yeah, it is.
Indiana State Governor Matthew Welsh claimed that the Kingsmen song Louie Louie was pornographic. The publishers offered $1,000 to anyone who could find the anything suggestive in the lyrics. And one more here. We got Robbie Williams' first concert was Showaddy Waddy.
They were in English. 7. They were huge in England.
At Queen's Hall in Burlesome, Stoke, Trent, England. So
Stoke-on-Trent, just down the road from where I was born. Yeah. Showaddy Waddy were huge in England. Yeah. Ask anybody at Epic Radio; they'll tell you in England. Showaddy Waddy they covered old rhythm and blues songs.
Right.
They were around for a long time too.
Yeah, but they didn't chart anything in North America. Another reason the Top 40 Timeline's a great show, because we look at both of the charts. You know, the British and the North American charts are totally different.
They're very different.
Have been every week since time began.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, so, and it's me now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where are we, 1965?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
On their first American tour, the Rolling Stones stop in Jacksonville, Florida. In the audience is a 17-year-old Ronnie Van Zant who decides then and there that he wants to be a singer in a rock and roll band, and he later forms Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah,
Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner.
I know Leonard for years.
You might as well do the next one.
And as well, we have 1976.
I used to love that show.
1976, John Sebastian's Welcome Back, the theme song to the TV series Welcome Back, Kotter, hits #1 in America. And I was playing that when it was a hit. Oh my God, I'm old. The series was originally called Kotter, but after Sebastian wrote the song, the title was changed to accommodate Sebastian writing a song called Kotter, but could have been only rhymed the word with other, right? Otter, okay. All right, well, but that's a great show, right?
Oh, I loved that one. It was John Travolta's start.
Yeah, he was Vinnie Barbarino. He was Vinnie Barbarino, you know what I mean?
Hey, baby.
Yeah.
Happy Bubberino.
So, 1976, BBC Radio 1, DJ Johnny Walker announced he was quitting the station after being told he must pretend to like the Bay City Rollers.
Oh, poor Johnny.
That would be hard.
I've never heard that story before.
That would be hard.
Johnny Walker is a legend in British
that's
radio.
funny.
1981, Lionel Richie and Diana Ross meet at the Reno, Nevada recording studio at 3:30 a.m., where they record vocals for Endless Love, needed quickly so it can be inserted into the film of the same name. Richie flew in from Los Angeles. Ross drove up after her concert in Lake Tahoe. The song becomes one of the biggest hits of the decade.
Wow.
Pretty cool, eh? And being a musician, we've had moments like here that, I had 3 guys here that I'd never played with. None of us had played together. And neighbors were like, that was amazing. It sounded like, and it did. It like, even Todd came out and sat and had a beer and watched. He never does that. So yeah, you can have those moments where you get 2 vocalists together and they can pull that off. That's cool. Very, very cool. Where are we?
1982.
There we go. Yeah, 1982. Paul McCartney scored his 5th UK album with Tug of War. The album featured the duet with Stevie Wonder, which of course everybody knows as Ebony and Ivory, which was inspired by McCartney hearing a comedian, Spike Milligan, say black notes, white notes, and you need to play the 2 to make harmony. The ebony black and the ivory white keys on the piano is what he's talking about, and he's right about that.
All about balance.
It's exactly. Totally agree.
And you never think of that song in that way
No.
to look at the piano.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, everybody thought it was about a black and white person, but it wasn't.
We'll wrap up your trivia this week with 1976. Carly Simon becomes the first Saturday Night Live musical guest who doesn't play live when a bout of stage fright keeps her from going on. Instead,
really had issues
NBC
with that.
runs unrecorded renditions of You're So Vain and a new song called Have a Chance.
Poor thing. I loved her, yet she had a lot of issues with anxiety and performing.
Same with
didn't
Joni Mitchell. She's kind
very
of
much
anxious.
so. Yeah.
Oh, Joni
God bless
Mitchell,
her.
yeah.
You
Oh,
know, I
yeah.
mean, and that happens to people. That's just
It is
what it is.
Like I say, I've gotten in front of 30,000 people on stage, and even being in radio, it grabs you by the boo boo. You just go because from here to the lights downtown was a sea of heads.
Used to have a teacher that taught me in broadcasting school, and he said to me, "Just imagine everybody naked."
Oh no, you can't do that either.
You know what I mean?
That doesn't work.
Then you wouldn't be able to focus on what you're doing.
Exactly. Now your train of thought's gone.
You're totally in another world.
You'd probably be laughing so
It doesn't
hard.
work that way.
How are we doing for time? How are we doing for time?
We're just about there. So,
32 minutes.
Yeah,
32.
we did well. We want to talk about Epic Radio again. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's our Loosey Goosey show. We do it very relaxed and comfortable. We try to have some fun. Great trivia, thanks to Leah.
Well, enjoying the history. I mean,
And,
we all learn, right?
A little bit of history of
And,
music. Some stuff you know, some stuff you don't.
And Epic Radio, as we were saying at the beginning, and WOW Media Group, they're combining forces, bring you a new and exciting listening platform. And this is work ongoing, by the way. Imagine Spotify or Deezer, but take it to the next level. Not just make your own playlist, but listen to thousands and millions of hours of. And our show
There's
is
a ton
on.
of good music out there that you're not getting from your local radio station. So, or
That's the wonderful thing about online radio is every radio station is different. Just like every dog is different, every person is different. They all have their own niche. And Epic Radio is huge in the UK, and we salute you guys and thank you for carrying our show.
Yeah,
9 a.m. Monday UK time, which is 4 in the morning in Eastern time. These guys.
I was up at 4.
Russ will still have his soother in.
I got my little
Possibly.
my Toronto Maple
Go
Leafs.
Leafs, go.
My Toronto Maple
No,
Leafs.
you won't because they're going to win. So
My
no,
nummy
that's not
nump,
gonna happen.
and
That's
I
not gonna
got
happen.
a blue and white one here, and my Nottingham Forest
On the
nummy
other-
nump for the red and white one on this side. So good luck, guys, this weekend. I'm very nervous about the Leaf game, and I'm very nervous about the
much.
Forest game. There we go. But then again,
Which
I
started
don't have,
right about now.
That's right. I know.
So now they're going to rush now. They're going to go,
Yep,
okay,
gotta
it's
get
nice
outta
seeing
here.
y'all. We got to go and see you later.
Yeah,
See you later.
Leaf game's starting right now. So, well, we want to say a happy Mother's Day to all our mothers in North America because I know some other countries celebrate at different times than we do. But happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Yeah, in Australia, I think it's already almost passed.
Yeah, Germany's a little bit different as well, from what I understand. So, but for us here in North America, it's Mother's Day. Celebrate your mother or your dad doing double duty. And yeah, we hope you tune in next week for our Top 40 Timeline video edition.
Yeah.
And,
Always have fun, don't we?
Hey,
Always have fun.
it's always a blast.
We don't
And like
know-
I said, some stuff you're going to know, but we always inform you with something you didn't know.
I've been in the business 50 years, and I
We're
find
still
out
reading
stuff,
stuff.
every day that I don't
Absolutely.
know.
And
Mandy,
you
get
got-
over here.
And you got a ton of trivia books at home, too, as
That's
well.
right.
So,
That's right.
I'll just
We're
keep
gonna-
looking, and I'll keep
Mandy,
finding stuff
Mandy
to
is
stump
the
you
one
with.
checking out the camera. She's also doing the news on the Air Radio Network, and she's part of the
and we're going
gang
to start
here.
bringing
We love
her in from time to time.
Yeah,
too,
we're
so.
going to start to. Well, hey, if one of us is off, there she is,
There
right
she
there.
is.
She's our backup.
That's right.
And she's
Absolutely.
watched. And she's
And I'll
watched
have
enough
retreats
now
coming, so-
to know how
She
we do
does the entertainment on
shit,
our
so-
local show, as
Yeah.
a matter of fact.
That's right.
And she helps out with everything, and she's on the radio on the local station. So, hey,
Go Leafs, go!
Epic Radio, you guys rock.
Thanks, Epic Radio. We appreciate it, and we look forward to hearing you in the future.
That's right. Are we supposed to say something about world or something? Or what was it again?
Building community worldwide.
There you go. Oh, I did that so well.
You have to remember that.
Okay.
So when
Okay.
I'm not here,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll blow it for sure.
I will.
We always do.
Shut up. There you go. I love her, really.